look good on the dance floor. Don't know what you're looking for, romance, or don't know what you're looking for. I threw my shirt on Sadie and she hasn't moved yet. She hasn't moved it off her. Okay, I think I'm just gonna read one chapter. Okay, let's just see how long chapter 4. Oh, chapter 4 is really short. Okay, let's see how chapter 5 is. Chapter 5 is long. I'm squinting so I can't spoil it. Oh, chapter 5 is long. Alright, we'll do 4 and 5. I'm squinting so I don't have to see, but I did see the word piece of crap. When I get to it, I'm gonna lol. Ew, come on. Okay. Chapter 4. There's a request for Southern Belle. So let's do chapter 4 in Southern Belle. It's been a week since I went to school. Fortunately for me, my girlfriend has visited me at home a few times since. Ashley and I have made out a number of times. When you start dating somebody, do you guys count how many times you make out? If anything, what I did to John brought us closer together in the long run. So, how come at the end of the last chapter she hadn't talked to you since? Now all of a sudden she's visiting you and you guys make out a couple times. Probably Greg's so creepy, he probably has a fucking notebook on the side of his, people have their little black books, but he probably every little detail that he does with a person. A lot of people wonder why girls like jerks. Girls like jerks. Women don't want jerks. We're smarter than that. Why are a lot of women into guys with attitude problems over the friend-zoned nice boys? Don't even fucking tell me that you think you are one of these nice boys. Because that would be, so stupid. If you appreciate reality over fantasy, it takes one look at the animal kingdom to figure out why girls often choose to be with guys who are insensitive and domineering. No. In nature, the lion that fights the hardest, the alpha male, he is the one the lionesses mate with. Pretty much a male lion just fucks all the lionesses. I think the animal comparison is just, it keeps getting hammered in, and it doesn't, why are you all of a sudden talking about the animal kingdom now? You have the girl. Inexplicably, you have the girl, so what do you care right now? The most aggressive and dominant animal is the one who spreads his genetics, not the submissive, nice alternative males. As if the animal kingdom distinguishes that much, you dumb fuck. Sometimes comparing ourselves to other animals can be ridiculous. Yes, as some connections are thin or entirely irrelevant. Oh my god, However, this is the case of what we are deep down. Who I am comes from the core of my being. I am an alpha, and I will be till the day I die. What the fuck makes you an alpha male? Have we seen Mr. Arthur motherfucking Gale be an alpha male at all? Do we still adhere to that hackneyed fucking stereotype? Greg apparently does. I say it every day. We are products of our configurations. We are controlled by how we were raised, our other childhood experiences, chemicals in our brains, and our bodies themselves. That has some reasoning behind it. It has some logic behind it. I'm kind of creeped out just where he's going to go with this. As soon as the majority of straight women stop being attracted to the strongest and most ambitious males, I'll stop being one. You aren't one. You're the worst kind of person. Until alpha males are obsolete, my body has needs, and being angry at the world doesn't hurt my position. What? I hate how disjointed this is. I hate that there's no flow to it. It's seriously Greg just shit his mind into words. It's all he did. And he put them on a piece of paper and sold them for $10 fucking that I'll never fucking see again. Now, since the day I was suspended from school, what was the point of that little, we made out a couple times? I'm an alpha male. What? Okay. Now, since the day I was suspended from school, my father had quite a few things to say. You probably guessed it. One of those things was that he is praying for me. So what? You know what changes things? Changing them. What? I legit don't know. It sounds stupid, but prayer does not equate to changing anything outside satisfying your need to feel like you accomplished something. I don't even have words to describe how, because I don't, this is so, it's just not cohesive at all. Sadie, why don't you, oh my god, I hate when cats do that. They sniff something, and then they open their mouths, and they look up at you like this. Their mouths hang open. It's weird. And now she's stuck on the carpet because she's a fucking idiot. Prayer is often just... God, why do you shit all over religion? What? You start talking about your girlfriend, now you're talking about alpha males, and now you're talking about the suspension and how your dad is praying for you. Oh my god. Oh no. Swig. Prayer is often just a poor man's version of donating money to a cause. Yeah, but in religion you tithe, so what? When you are incapable of something or too lazy to do anything proactive about a problem, get on your knees and make a wish. The way that he's describing this is that he believes that all religious people, all they do, if they have an issue in their life, all they do is pray it away, or whatever. I don't, I am not religious. I don't have a religion. I was raised Catholic, but I'm a lapsed Catholic. I can say that freely. But religious people, they pray for things, of course, but they do other things. Greg just has this idea of what somebody does, and no matter how much you show him evidence that that's not all that happens, he just is I don't care. This is exactly what they do. Christians only pray to everything. People who believe in religion, they only pray, and they don't do anything else. You really don't think they do anything else to, help their problems go away? You think that them praying for a little bit of, spiritual guidance is, the worst fucking thing in the world? That satisfies people for some reason. Getting on your knees and making a wish satisfies one person. Sometimes two. Everyone but those living their lives realistically. Other than praying for me, my father has been out of the house with his girlfriend a lot. Yeah, because he's a grown-ass fucking man and can do what he wants. This gives me plenty of room to gratify myself, almost constantly using the sites he hasn't blocked on his computer. Ew, I don't want to think about Greg jerking himself off. I can't, him and his uncircumcised wiener. I don't have anything against uncircumcised wieners. I just don't like Greg's. I'm sure it's, skinny, garden hose. It's probably, this thin. It's easy to get around parent blocking. All I had to do was go to the least popular sites I could find, and bam, no filter. Okay. Sure. My father abandoning me for his girlfriend also offered the always welcome gift of being able to generally leave my room without worrying about being judged or lectured. Like, it just, we're only hearing Arthur's words that he's being judged and lectured all the time. But, like, the way that he describes it, you'd think that he is, from the moment he wakes up to the moment he goes to bed, he is constantly bombarded over and over again with all the things that he dislikes. And that's not necessarily how most people's lives go. He's just exaggerating to sound dramatic and to sound deeper than he is, and to show you like, oh guys, don't I have such a fucked up life, like trying to justify his hateful attitude towards everything. Ashley told me the other day that John had to get surgery on the arm I broke. Well, what the fuck else did you think was gonna happen? You fucking, broke his, not tibia and fibia, that is your leg. Radius and ulna. Wow. Oh my god, I remember things. I'm so smart. As a joke, I told my dad to pray for his arm to have a quick recovery, and he smiled, thinking I for a moment was actually supportive of his faith. I don't think your dad's that dumb. And I think you making a joke just to be an asshole at somebody else is rude. There's no other word for it. The real reason I asked my father to pray is because I know little to nothing he prays for comes true. Yeah, you know that, huh? You know everything. Like, okay, like, I've prayed for things. Like, I've prayed for help. Like, oh, Lord, help me. Things like that, But it's not in a sense that I think God, whoever God may be, it's not that he's listening to it and is going to fulfill that for me. It's more so just like, you cleave onto something to just get you through that tough time. For me, that's how I see it. I mean, like, I don't go to church, I don't do anything like that, but like Greg thinks that everybody who prays honestly believes that they are going to get whatever they want from God or something. And because he's such a black and white thinker, he doesn't realize that there's a lot of gray area when it comes to religion, for sure. If there is a God, he, she, or it is making it a point to ignore him. Who knows, I could get lucky and John could be in for a long recovery. You could get lucky? You're such an asshole! His recovery should offer him plenty of time for him to think about not touching women without their consent. To me, breaking somebody's arm and beating the shit out of them while equating yourself to butterflies, all because of something that you didn't like, that didn't even directly happen to you. I mean, this is all just his wish fulfillment right now. He just wishes he could beat up these people that gave him a hard time. Rightfully gave him a hard time in high school. Because Greg is an asshole. Like, there's no doubt about it. He's a fucking asshole. And if he did get berated in high school, I'm pretty sure that he deserved it. Like, I know kids are mean, and I know that is a true fact. But usually you're not gonna... I remember in high school, I was kind of an asshole to people, but if they didn't bother me, I didn't bother them. That's usually how it goes. Like, from what we can garner and what we glean from all the high school Anon stories, like, Greg kind of had all of this coming because he's an asshole! Oh! I know this makes me sound like I am a terrible human being. It doesn't make you sound like a terrible human being. It affirms that you're a terrible human being. And I no doubt am on multiple levels, but you only know a fraction of the story. No, we only know your side of the story, you prick farmer. Even so, much of who I am and what I've been through, I likely will not tell you. Some things are just better off unsaid. Phew, thank the Lord. What? That was the end of the chapter! That was the end of the chapter! That was the most pointless fucking chapter in the entire world. Greg shat on religion, talked about jerking off and making out with his girlfriend. I hope we get a story soon. Because this is a manifesto. People have said it online. It's his Dianetics. It's really what it is. He's not trying to figure out himself. He's just trying to like put what he really believes out into the universe. Chapter 5. Cold wisps of air filled my darkened, decaying school on my third day back. This place is so pathetic. Oh my god, you changed tenses again. It filled my darkened, decaying school. This place is so pathetic. I wondered if I almost did like dramatic voice in Southern Belle voice. I wondered if they ever planned on fixing anything. I can't do it. What would it take to get things repaired? A school shooter. He's probably gonna meet Seth here. A ceiling caving in on an entire class of students, would that be enough? Yeah. Yeah, that'd do it. Every other person at school has been looking at me nervously for the past few days. As they should. Because you should be fucking locked up right now, and the fact that you're back. Today their looks could be in response to the fact I painted half my face like a skeleton. Like the cover of his book. Like Tate Langdon in American Horror Story. You are so fucking unoriginal, it's ridiculous. It could also be that I wore the same trench coat I had on when I broke John's arm. I didn't even wash my own blood off of it yet. Ew. That's not edgy! That's just stupid! It could also be the silver tooth. The silver tooth I got to replace the one John knocked out of my face. Where the fuck did you get a silver tooth? Did you procure it from Spencer's Gifts, you stupid asshole? Should I care why I've become a bigger outcast than I was before? Do any of their opinions or even their lives matter? Yes, to them their lives matter. To you they don't. Their opinions don't really matter in the long scheme of things. Like, you know, high school sucks. We all know that. High school is dumb. There's so many stupid things that go on in high school. But, you know, like, to relive things like this at the age Greg is at, when it's not like he was maliciously picked on and is trying to better himself by learning from his mistakes, when it just becomes this creepy revenge fantasy, that raises quite a bit of alarm bells. Because of our school's dress code, I was called into Principal Lehman's office in the middle of my first period class. I was pretty sure it was my fat, pathetic excuse for a teacher, Mr. Hansen, oh my fucking Christ, who complained. I saw him mumbling on the phone just after I walked in. It must have been to the principal. Principal Lehman was sitting firmly upright in his retro chair. What the fuck? Staring at me as I walked into his office. Oh my god. Mechanical writing is back. Hooray! He asked me to close the door, so I did. I went to stand in front of his desk, and he asked, "Are you a psychopath or something?" That's not how a fucking principal would address a child wearing face paint. Are you a psychopath or something with a tightly bound facial expression? I replied, a psychopath is someone who suffers from a mental disorder. I believe I'm rather sane, however. They also tend to express violent behavior, so I could be. You know what? Not all psychopaths exhibit like violent behavior. It could be a trait. But psychopathy, again, it's like an antisocial spectrum. That's why, like, when I said before, like, high-functioning sociopaths, like, in my time on this earth, I've known people who are sociopaths, but they're perfectly pleasant, you know, nice people that I like to talk to, and I can have a conversation with. It's just, there are things that you pick up on where they don't, you can tell that they don't have empathy for somebody, you know, or they can't feel empathy, or like they do things for their own benefit normally, not putting other people on the back burner, you know. Now, different levels of antisocial behavior, like, yes, you're gonna get the people who are violent and do violent acts, you know, but to say they tend to express violent behavior, like, it's not true. It's not true. Like, we've dumbed down a lot of these words, like, you know, you call somebody a psycho when they do something, like, when they have, like, a weird outburst, like, ooh, psycho, you know, you say things like that. So, I'm just mad that the way that he words things. Also, he's not sane at all. Principal Lehman didn't look happy with my answer. His lack of amusement didn't surprise me. Lehman then said something that blew my mind. Your parents are religious. Your father, in particular, constantly judges every little thing you do. What? Why is Principal Lehman such a fucknut right now? Your mom and him are extremely condescending and have little respect for what you have to say. How does the principal of a school of 2,000 fucking know everything about this kid's life unless he's dreaming or something? You're expected to be their carbon copy, and when you say something, they disagree when they ignore you. What? Whoa! You're expected to be their carbon copy, and when you say something they disagree with, they ignore you or pretend you're evil for having shared your views. You need to learn how to put commas in places because I can't read. I need that natural breath. I need the natural pause that comes with dialogue. He stared at me, waiting for my response. No, I replied. What is going the fuck on? Automatically assuming I was lying, he said, no, I've met kids like you 1,000 times. You're all the same. Oh my fuck! Oh my god. I don't understand why all of a sudden, like, the principal called you in to tell you, hey, fucknut, your stupid half-painted face is against school policy. Knock it the fuck off. No, now Mr. Lehman is psychoanalyzing this kid? What? Oi! I replied again, no, my mom is dead. She was the only good thing about my home life. Principal Lehman paused, awkwardly looking to the side. Well, maybe it wouldn't be awkward if you didn't fucking psychoanalyze the students that go to your school. I expected him to apologize or show some kind of remorse for not being sensitive about my mom being dead. You expect people to fucking feel sorry for you? What? I'm gonna die here. This is gonna kill me. God, I'm so glad I meditate. He cut my train of thought in half. So why is your face painted like it's Halloween? Why is this happening? God, Jesus, Mary Magdalene, help me get through this. See, that's why I'm praying to God to help me get through this bullshit. I'm thirsty. I'm sorry, that's so gross. That's not as gross. Okay. Like a snake. Did he really just ignore the fact I lost my mom after all he said to me? Greg, did you really make fun of people who like sports? Greg, did you really make fun of people who maybe are overweight but still find time to fucking jog miles a day like your dad apparently does? Greg, did you really ignore the fact that your father is just trying to do the best for you and actually tells you that he loves you? So go fuck yourself, you stupid, self-absorbed piece of shit. Arthur Lindfeld, he asked. My name is Arthur. My name is Arthur Gale, I replied. He smiled and said, Arthur Lindfeld is the name on this paperwork in front of me. Arthur Lindfeld is your legal name. These papers also happen to be expulsion documents. Whoopsh. And all I have to do is fill out an explanation for your expulsion and sign. Do it. Do it. Call in the troops and get this kid committed. Or put him in a military school. Mate, what do you think? Do you think Greg would have fared well in a military school? Do you think, like, if they had gotten to him early enough, do you think anything would have come of that? His words left no room for my normal attitude to flourish. Why can't he just let me be great? He had my complete attention. Why do you have expulsion papers with my name on it? I asked. Gee, I don't know. Why? He replied, because you look like a psychopath. You act like a psychopath, and if I expel you the moment you do something I don't like, again, I'm fairly sure I'll be saving the students at this school a lot of trouble. This is not protocol. Even I know that. This is not standard protocol. This is just Greg's universe where everybody says the most outlandish shit in the entire world. We both knew what he was implying. Yeah. I don't think he really implied it. I think he was like, I kind of fear for the safety of my students because you're so fucked up. He flat out calls you a psychopath. How is that implying something? I look like the kids that shoot up schools, especially the ones at Columbine. Do you get off on that fact, Greg? Do you jerk your fucking 2-inch meat about that? That you looked like oh, ew, I just had a horrible thought. Like, maybe he, like, enjoys the fact that, like, he could have done something in high school, but he's, like, saved all those high schooler people that he went to high school with. He, like, probably still, like, holds on to that to this day, and he's just like, yum, 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 yum. I would never kill people just because I didn't like them. No, you'll just break their fucking arm in half, basically, and ruin their football career because he touched your girlfriend once. I imagine it every other day, but that doesn't mean I want it to happen. So, like, is that somehow making you better? Is that better, like, to have murderous thoughts but never act on them? Or, I don't know. I hated feeling like I was comparable to someone who would play God with people. I thought you didn't believe in God, you dipshit. Who were no threat to anyone I cared about. It's one thing to defend those you love. It's another to hurt someone for absolutely no reason aside from your desire alone. Guys, I'm really mind-fucked right now. Like, this is my brain, like, spreading its cheeks and just allowing this wiener of fucked upness to just penetrate it over and over again. And I'm not enjoying it, but I can't say anything because it's like, I'll get it over with and I'll be fine in a week. We've all had those, well, by we all, I mean me. There's been those times where you hook up with somebody and it's not going like you want it to, and you're like, whatever. I'm just whatever. I'll just forget about it later. It's a bad hookup. I'm having a bad hookup right now. We've all had bad hookups. I can say that for sure. We've all had bad hookups. Lately, I'm not gonna get into it lately. I was gonna be positive. I was gonna say they've been pretty good, but like whatever. Like, you know, he's like holding on to the fact that he doesn't act out any of these impulses that he has, yet they're still there. Like, there's something to be said that these crazy fucking thoughts are still in your mind, even if you don't act out on them. You know what I mean? I felt a heavy sickness in my stomach and sat down in one of the 2 chairs facing Principal Lehman's piece of crap desk. Piece of crap. So I think you get the point. You can leave, Principal Lehman said literally after I just sat down. God, he sucks at fucking dialogue. And he sucks at you can leave, and he put a period. Ugh. Ugh. God. Who texted me? Somebody texted me. Who's saying hi to Giants? Oh, wait, nobody. This is the Twitter thing. Really quick, let me look at Twitter. Who's tweeting me? Oh my god, that is so weird. Jimmy just tweeted me like 2 seconds after I said the word literally. And he wrote, literally sports needs to be on a t-shirt. Let me tweet him back really quick. You will be in the next video. Just wait. Oh no, I spelled wait wrong. I'm just gonna waita. I'm gonna retweet that right now. That's fucking great. I'm so happy. I stood back up silently and left the room. Principal Lehman screamed after me, and wipe off that makeup, kid. God, he didn't put a comma after makeup. And wipe off that makeup, kid. It hurts my eyes to see, like, no natural breaks in the dialogue here. I felt tears start to form in my eyes. Really? Tears only for yourself. Tears only come when they're for yourself. Other than that, you take great pride in inflicting pain on others and thinking about pain of others. So you're so fucking transparent. I know, it's pathetic, but I wasn't in control. I'm used to being the strongest one in every room. Principal Lehman was bigger, louder, and had more power at his fingertips than I had ever had in my entire life. I mean, entire body. Like, power struggle here. As I walked into the bathroom, I looked in the mirror. My eyes were bloodshot. Really? And I knew I was about to lose it, but I couldn't. Okay. I didn't want to allow my anger and sadness to conquer me. It already has, fucker! It would cause me to rip apart the bathroom, and I knew I would get expelled. God, please, just get expelled. I had to remove the face paint, or I would no doubt also risk my expulsion. Like, why did you put the face paint on in the first place? To troll everybody and to be like, oh, fear me, I'm half a skeleton. I had to remove the face paint. Did I just read that? Yes, I did. I was overwhelmed, but I had to swallow it all and bury it deep. I don't believe any of your fucking emotions at all, because we're in the 5th chapter, and now all of a sudden you're showing glimmers of humanity and humility all of a sudden. I don't believe it for a fucking second. I'm just another moron. Yes, you are. I'm just another victim of self-obsession. Yes, you are. I wanted to be around my girlfriend, to protect her at school. I read this incorrectly, and I thought it said impregnate, which he does want to do, apparently. I wanted to graduate high school. Why? What? Why? Why? What are you gonna do with your life after high school? I didn't want to be some dropout loser with no future. Like, you are already a loser with no future. All these thoughts burned through my mind as I began to wipe the skeleton on my face off. The skeleton on my face off. Ugh. My emotions finally managed to push tears down my cheeks. My emotions pushed tears. Okay. The water-soaked brown paper towel was so useless and tacky for makeup removal. It's the little things in life that can make you snap. There's no period after snap. So, just like with the fucking butterflies, the paper towel is gonna make them snap. Cool. As a few tears fell, Chris from my first period class walked in. Uh-oh, guys. Now we get to see why Arthur hates him so much. He immediately noticed me wiping my face. He smirked and scoffed. That didn't last long. I ignored him as I wiped the water and tears off my face. I didn't have the energy to imagine lopping his head off with a machete or throwing him off the top of the school roof onto cement headfirst. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if somebody is a dick to me, I'd never imagine chopping their head off with a machete. Not a machete. You know, maybe a fire axe, but a machete? Like, no, you know. You have to be... With a machete, I feel like there's a tendency to get too messy, and like, what if it's not long enough? I came from improv, this is what I'm doing. But, yeah, if somebody pisses me off, I never have the thought of wanting to kill them. And because Greg doesn't act out these fantasies, like, it doesn't make him better. Like, the fact that you still have murderous thoughts, that's fucked up. That the normal person doesn't have that. I know that it's human nature. You have intrusive thoughts sometimes. It's just, it's like a very normal part of life. Like, you know, like, man, like when I was driving the other day, not the other day, like a month and a half ago, I was driving and like, you know, I had been driving for a while. And then like, I had this thought, I was like, what if I just like turned the steering wheel and like crashed into the barrier? Like, what would happen? Like, I know what would have happened, but like, you just had that, I had that thought and I was like, what? That's so fucked up. It was just like weird. It's called an intrusive thought. And they're normal. Now, the thing is, I don't know why I'm getting off this right here, but I'd rather not deal with that. Like, the thing is, you know, if these intrusive thoughts continue and they keep going, like, it can develop into OCD. Like, you can have these thoughts that you can't stop from coming in, and then they keep building and building up, and then you can't function normally, and then that's when the anxiety builds, and then you have to do these other things to get the anxiety away because of all the bad things that happen. It's just a theory, one of my theories, that from what I've observed studying minimal psychology things. So, the fact that this fucking kid has more murderous thoughts than he doesn't have murderous thoughts, like, it's very telling, and it creeps me the fuck out. I didn't have the energy to hate, only self-pity. So I stood there silently and kept wiping my face. I was almost completely done wiping the paint off by the time he came back out of the bathroom stall. And I know writers want you to go, like, when you write, you do want to give as much detail as possible. But Greg, like, when Greg goes into detail, it's like repetitive detail to just get a lot of words out, you know? He's like, I'm wiping the paint off. Okay. So, like, you know, you can look in the mirror and see, like, the streak of there's no longer a tooth there. You know, like, the black had gone up into my nostril kind of thing. Like the black paint, you know? He's so boring when he tries to describe things. He spoke to me again, saying, dude, not everyone is your enemy. I ignored him and finished wiping my face. See? Whatever, man, I'm on your side, he said, obviously trying to befriend me. Oh my fucking god. Like, okay. I replied under my breath, no, you're not, and walked out. Oh god, I hate the way he writes dialogue. I hate it. As I returned to my first period class. Oh my god, like, that, okay, that's the end of that. Remember how he was, like, saying how bad Chris was and how he did all this stuff, and, like, and then, like, Chris basically was just like, dude, like, you know, calm your shit. Why is this kid so bad? Why even tell us that he's so bad when, like, the one interaction we see with him, he's, like, not a bad guy at all? I could hear, as I returned to my first period class, I could hear the students trying to hold back their laughter. Their inconsistent breathing made it more than obvious what they were thinking. Oh, ha ha ha, he took paint off of his face. Like, people are not that fucking cruel, you fucking permanent victim. Their eyes behaved like whack-a-mole. Whack-a-mole, Greg. He didn't add any hyphens. Darting in and out to get a glance at the freak. No. Is it a simile? Or supposed to be no, it's not a simile. Analogy. It's not... Could someone... I don't want to look it up right now. The difference between a simile and a metaphor. I can't remember. That's like... That was like... I feel like 5th grade English. Or like maybe 7th grade English. I don't remember. No, 5th grade, definitely. Because I remember my like best friend Charlotte had to... we had to draw similes and metaphors, but like literally draw them. So she picked Keep Your Eyes Peeled, and she drew a picture of a guy with a potato peeler peeling skin off of his eyes. And it was just like a guy, it was just an all orange guy holding like a thing, and you just see pieces of skin falling off of it. That's burned into my memory to this day. If your eyes are behaving like whack-a-mole, they're going like this. Up and down, in and out. Because what's whack-a-mole? The circles, and they're going, eyes darting back and forth. That's all you need to say, stupid face. There were only a couple people who didn't seem amused by the fact that my face was half red from just having removed the paint. Like, red? You said a skeleton. I'm thinking, like, you drew eyeliner on a skeleton. Now all of a sudden it's red. He didn't even bother giving that descriptor. It was some foreign kid who barely spoke English and someone who was clearly as out of place there as I was. Only he didn't show it with his wardrobe. What? In fact, I barely saw him speak to anyone else since the day I got to that class. Is it Seth? It's Seth. It might be. I don't know. I'm pinning on Seth. Was Seth foreign? Is this kid foreign? Yeah, he's foreign. In fact, I am so dumb. Okay. The only peace I could find in that class existed between the foreign guy who can't speak and the other kid who just chose not to speak. Maybe Seth is the other kid who chose not to speak. Alright. Coincidentally, those two were also basically the only people I hadn't yet imagined killing at some point. There's no satisfaction in watching innocent people suffer. Well, as long as you're satisfied with it, yeah. See, this is why I think, like, Greg obviously has sociopathic tendencies here. Doing things for self-satisfaction only. For the sake of keeping myself from losing it on the entire class and making a bigger joke of myself than I already was, I just focused on my bedroom and my plan to lock myself in it for the rest of the day once I got home. I need to count how. That was the paragraph. Okay, I need to count how many words were in that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 48 words in one sentence. That's one paragraph. You're doing it again. These stupid ass run-on sentences that are just full of words. Chris was eyeballing me as he walked back into the class, but that was short-lived. Short-lived. Short-lived, Greg. Do you know what a hyphen is? I've never seen him even use, he's used a couple, and they've kind of been incorrect. As the bell went off before he could even get to his desk. Who lets their students go pee, moments before the bell ends? I was never allowed to do that, no matter how bad I had to pee. My teachers were always like, no, bitch. You stay right where you are. The bell's gonna ring shortly, fucker. At lunch later that day, why would Chris eyeball him? Does Chris want to make out with him? Maybe. At lunch later that day, I was sitting with Ashley and all of her friends. Oh, Christ. I didn't have any friends of my own, so my only real purpose was to serve as Ashley's butt pad for her chair. Ew! What? As she sat in my lap. Oh my god. Needlessly intimate for no reason. You're sitting at a lunch table. Do you know how uncomfortable it would be to, eat lunch when you're sitting on your boyfriend's lap? Fuck you. I'm gonna sit in my goddamn seat and eat my fucking lunch, and then you can go fuck off. I never sat on my boyfriend's lap in high school when we were at lunch. I don't even think we had the same lunch period. I really don't remember. As she sat in my lap, I found myself listening to what I always dreaded hearing. It was the offensively ignorant and clearly unexamined opinions of her brain-dead preppy friends. Greg, this whole book is your unexamined opinion, stupid face. From their views on the president to what other students were wearing that day, I experienced an intense urge to walk around the table and stick a knife in the back of each of their thoughtless little heads. Yeah, because I'm sure that they would sit there waiting for you to do that. You're gonna go, it's not Duck, Duck, Goose, where they have to sit there and wait, It doesn't make sense to me that this guy can jerk himself off with all these thoughts about everybody else, but the moment somebody does the exact same thing as him and utilizes the exact same freedoms given to us as fucking Americans to say what is on our minds without fear of being persecuted for it, unless it's legit hate speech where you're threatening people. I just don't get it. Oh, it's 4:14. Oh, I gotta go to bed. I'm so tired. Oh, hurry up and end, you fucker. No doubt introducing a metal blade to the back of their brain would increase their IQs at least a few points. Fuck off! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! It would be difficult for them to decline beyond the intellectual rock-bottom state they were already in. Good fucking God, this is so boring, and it's so repetitive. You're just gonna look at somebody and we're just gonna see him constantly talk about things that he hates. We're gonna talk about, different ways he wants to kill people. What is the motherfucking point? Ashley was the American poster girl and fit right in with the others. So, why do you like her? Why are you subject? If you don't want to be around these people, you don't have to sit with them. Go jerk off in the corner. Now me still drowning in black clothing. What? Now me still drowning in black clothing created quite the eyesore at the lunch table. He starts way too many sentences with now. Okay? Because now implies the present. And you're trying to do you're trying to do past stuff. And I know it's kind of coming from, like, a journal standpoint where it's like, now I know, like, addressing the reader, kind of, but, like, he's not. He's just not being clever enough to do this. There was no explanation as to why Ashley was even hanging around this people, aside from the likely possibility that she had a lot in common with them. That's usually why people get together. They find things in common. And they get together. And they share the same similar ideas and enjoy being around each other. Maybe if you lighten the fuck up, you would realize that. Was it that becoming more with that it was becoming more evident to me that Ashley was only with me because she was attracted to my type. Aside from her calling me handsome from time to time. Ah! No! Ah! And laughing at the observations I made, we seemed to have very little we could relate on. I hate this. I hate this. I hate it. I hate all of it. I hate it the most. Like, Stones to Abigail looks like a fucking, like, Stephen King novel compared to this bullshit. And that's awful. I'm so sorry, Stephen. I spoke in a low tone to Ashley, asking if we could ditch the group we were in. She ignored me, so I said again, let's leave. Ashley, still sitting on my lap, acted like I said nothing at all. Oh no, what is he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Finally, I spoke in a normal tone. Ashley, can we ditch your loser idiot friends? See, this is why you get berated, you dipstick. This is why. Because you come out with these kinds of thoughts that are just fucking rude for no reason because you want to do something. You don't care about how other people are feeling because you can't care how other people are feeling. If you don't want to be there, you learn to just, like, either suck it up or say, excuse me, I'm going to go. But no, he has to take it to an extreme and be a fucking asshole. So of course other people are gonna not want to be around you and berate the shit out of you in front of you because you're I don't feel sorry for Greg. I feel sorry for people who are legitimately just trying to live their fucking lives and some asshole can't stand that for whatever reason and picks on them. Those are the people I feel sorry for. Somebody like Greg, who did get the shit beaten out of him a couple times in high school, I can't feel sorry because I totally believe that this is exactly how he acted. Like an arrogant asshole who thinks he's above everybody and decides to just ejaculate those kinds of thoughts to other people. For no reason other than he thinks it's amusing and just wants to stroke himself off and say, this is why I'm more superior than you. That was quite the rant, ladies and gentlemen. They all stopped blabbing about their nonsense views of the world and stared at me. It was obvious Ashley prioritized being accepted by her friends over me. I am in rage mode right now. I should not have done this. I should have just gone to bed. I should have just gone to bed. Oh, thank God, only like two more pages. Even to this point, she ignored me. What? Okay. I couldn't believe she was still acting like I said nothing. But I wasn't going to stick around. Why didn't you just get up and go? Why didn't you just get up and go? I was fed up, so I slid her butt on the chair beside me and stormed off. You are such a petulant piece of shit. Ashley called after me as I left the cafeteria, and in response, I lifted my middle finger while continuing to walk away. Much edgy. Arthur mad. Fuck you. Oh. The rest of lunch I spent sitting in front of the door next to my class. That is the stupidest worded sentence ever. After about an hour of getting home... What? What? After about an hour of getting home. What? Did you... I got a call from Ashley. She wanted to know what she could do to make things better between us. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? She wanted to know what she could do to make you feel better, you fucking asshole? I'm talking to Greg. Like, if I was sitting with my boyfriend, I'm sitting on his lap eating lunch like a dumbass. If I'm doing that and he calls out my friends and says, "You idiot loser friends," I'd be like, "Go fuck yourself, asshole. Go away." I'm not calling him to be like, what did I do? What can we do to work on this? I'd be like, "You're a prick. You don't deserve my fucking, you don't talk to my friends like that." Are you kidding? She insisted she didn't mean to ignore me, but how could she not mean to do that? I'm so mad! Her actions or lack thereof seemed so blatantly intentional. And so you calling them idiot friends was not intentional? I'm going to scream. I'm going to scream. Despite the implausibility of her position, I decided to give her a chance to fix things. Oh, what a saint. Oh, let me just... A chance I thought held no promise. Dress up like you're goth tomorrow. I said into the phone. Ashley was silent for a moment and then asked, "What do I wear?" You, Ashley! Come on, bitch! Like, come on, girl! Get away from this asshole! I replied, "Wear all black clothes and dark makeup." She replied, "Okay." Oh, God. Like, what can I do to make things better? Dress how I want you to dress. Start to conform to my ways. Manipulative. I didn't believe for a second she was going to do it. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Don't lie to me. Don't bullshit a bullshitter. I was fixed on this idea that she was only into me for one reason, and that an alpha male pulling her away from a pack of cackling turkeys would only make her feel weak. I'm going insane. I'm going insane because the logic behind this is hurting my head and it's insulting my intelligence. It's insulting everything that I hold dear to my heart. Seriously. And I have, oh my God, I'm 22% of the way done. Oh my God, I haven't even read a fourth of it. Oh my God, you guys, like, you're gonna have to really help me out here. This is getting really hard. This is getting really hard. Really hard. Stop. Oh my God, I'm such a pervert. Such an act would contradict her initial interest in me in the first place. What? Did I say contract? I said contradict? I don't care. Ashley's goal being security. She would show up dressed in her normal attire and give up on the lone wolf I naturally found myself to be. I'm not even gonna. As the next day of school began, Ashley stood where she knew I'd see her as I walked in. Like, schools have a whole lot of doors. How does she fucking know where you're gonna walk in? Okay. Her hands were interlocked in front of her thighs. What? Her butt was slightly perked out. What? What? I noticed this because she was wearing black tights. Oh, so goth. Black tights. As her eyes came clearly into view, I could see her purple eyeshadow, plum-colored lipstick, COLOURED. Greg, you're not British. And purple glitter on the black jean jacket she was wearing. So, goth is just a style. It's just clothes. Like, yeah, you may find that pleasing, and I know that I liked the skater boy. Like, I liked dressing goth in high school, but, like, you know, I was a little, like, I was not an emo, okay? I was a punk. Punk came roaring back in, like, 2002. So I got, like, my studded belt and, like, my studded wristbands and, like, wore ties around my, instead of a belt. You know, it was just a style. I wore my Element t-shirts even though, like, I barely skateboarded and, like, broke my wrist skateboarding and, like, you know, I never did it again. So he's just like conforming his girl into something that he wants to see. He doesn't give any sort of shit how she feels about anything. He just, like, wants her to do what he wants, and I hate him for that. I was overwhelmed by her gesture of loyalty. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Chapter 6, I see it. I never wanted to physically dominate someone more than I had in that moment. I mean, I can only assume, like, you know, boner. Spring! But to physically dominate someone, that's what you say because she dressed a little different? Jesus motherfucking Christ. I quickly walked up to Ashley and heavily kissed her as the other students passed us by. Okay. As our lips pulled apart for a moment, I said, "Thank you." That was so weird. I said thank you, and, like, the vibrate happened at the same time. It was like, "Thank you." She smiled and replied, "Guess I'm yours after all." I laughed under my breath, and we continued kissing till the bell for first period rang. We hung out whenever we could the rest of the day and spent most of lunch just talking and kissing, alone. Some people can still surprise me. No. What can surprise you is that how much power you have over them. That's what surprises you, not the people themselves. The fact that you have power and perceived authority over them. It's all part of why I haven't found my place at the end of a rope just yet. I hate you. Greg, I hate you. That was the end of chapter 5. I hate you. I hate you. I hate this book. Ow, I just dug my nail into my forehead. Ow, that hurts so bad. I'm so disappointed in everything that's going on in this book. I seriously thought Stones to Abigail was the worst thing I've ever read. This is taking the cake. And I feel like Greg likes this even more than Stones to Abigail. I don't know why. Because he put a little bit more care into it. Like, he had a release date. He had, like, he talked about editing it and doing outlines for it. Guys, it's bad. It's real bad. With that, I need to go to bed. I've been up since 11 p.m., so I have to go to bed. I need some comforting words to continue because really, guys, it's bad. It's bad. So, help me through this. Take care, bitches.